Hey, why oh my unsilent majority. Welcome back. I'm Nostaboss. And today we're gonna expand and enhance our character again. More like how we're gonna do it, not that's gonna happen. So I have with me my old college notebook for some various classes. The early stages of this were my graphic design classes that I used to take back in college. However, partway through, around here-ish, uh, were notes on my Gods and Goddesses class for whatever, I think it was Humanities. And I'm going to highlight about four of these. Let me just check. Yep, there are four of these. So let's go through this. So obviously, if you're stuck with your character, so I'm just showing that. If you're stuck on your on an aspect or basically anything to do with your villain or hero hero anti-hero. Is it villain? Yep. The hero. Here are some suggestions. Number one, um, do research on other characters and their aspects. That's one. Get inspired by pieces of music or any mishearings you have while in conversation with another person. Another thing we do is we look at gods. Now, I don't have the original book on me or what else, but it was called Gods in Every Man and Goddesses in Every Woman. I know. Um, and a handful of them were here, so we're gonna pick up on three. No, we're gonna pick up on four. So we have Persephone, followed by what was this? I'm guessing I'm gonna call it the table. Uh, Zeus and oh no, wait, we have five. We have Poseidon, and then we have lastly Hades. So we're gonna do the table. We're gonna do Persephone and Hades together. Wait, what? We're gonna do Persephone and Hades together. Because, so for those who don't know, as far as I'm aware, that this is what my book said. Um, Persephone was in a meadow, um, and effectively the ground erodes beneath her. Hades appears, snatches her, and brings her back into, well, Hades, the actual realm of Hades in, I believe it's Greek mythology? I think because Ares is the god of, one of the mythoses. It covers a variety of them, but you get the idea. She's brought down, and thus That's why it's winter. We get winter for 4 months in like November till February. So he gets her for like 4 months. I forget who her mother is, but that's not the point. The point is, the way we did it in my class was we had to imagine ourselves in these positions. Now, in this part, my teacher did not play music at all. She played music here, and I don't remember the exact song, but I'll tell you um, what this is. So she's like, close your eyes. You are now in a meadow. In front of you is a flower. What is it? So I'm going to be doing mine here. Mine was my flower. My flower was a golden sunflower. This somehow represents your Persephone. That's kind of how this works. So you have that. So you have this. So this is you. You are now the delicate flower. You don't become it. You are bearing witness to this. Now, this can come in any form, and I want you now to just imagine in some logical or illogical way, it doesn't have to be logical, you have to imagine your Hades bursting through or coming into existence or coming from the ground in various ways. And you're going to talk to this thing. A lot of people, when we did this, had the Disney Hades. However, when it came down to my Hades, it wasn't Hades from Disney. No, 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 no. Mine was from one of the books I was writing, the first big book I was writing. It came out full black silhouette and everything, so I didn't get a look at his face, but he had like a hood on, and it grabbed me here, brought me like close to like my to its face, and gritted white teeth said, "Give me purpose!" Yelled it in my bloody face after emerging from the ground, which uh, formed a like almost black hole. It jumps out from a motorcycle, gets off, pulls me to its face, and just says, "Give me purpose." And wait, oh shit! my my my, I didn't realize I made my villain so bland. And then I got to working on it, and I fleshed him out a bit more in another text file somewhere, and that's remained with me to this day. So for my Hades was the villain from my first major story, emerging from a black hole on a Harley Davidson motorbike motorbike like and pull, rips my shirt and yells, "Give me purpose!" Purpose as I turn to reality. Now, Now you're like, that's kind of odd. And we can extrapolate that more with the table method. So imagine instead, um, this is like the council, or the table or the council, as I'm going to call it. It on this, this is funny. This is what I do because I have so many characters I work with. We all, I have this giant freaking table filled with over 100 people, and we just sit down and chat, and we talk about almost every minute detail. I do this about once every couple of weeks, couple of months. Originally, this was um putting down like who sat where, kinda. This was like a who sits where situation. Like who do you want to keep close and who's talking to you now, kind of thing. So like imagining yourself at a table with all your various characters and their personalities, and you systematically um, get to know them as they talk to you. Hmm. I also extrapolate this to you actively getting in that mindset for that character. We'll expound on that as well. The next one we're going to do is Zeus, actually. Wait, is there anything else coming after this? Oh yeah, no, we did Hades. Um, yeah. So Zeus can come in many forms. This is you're doing an average everyday thing and you're given a call by someone. So this can come in many forms. So we're gonna be doing this. I'll be doing mine. So for me, this was odd. For me, um, my for me this was um, your you imagine yourself self normally doing something else. You imagine yourself normally, and phone, then the phone rings, and pick, you pick it up. So let's say you're me. You're like, who is this? Oh, that's someone you. And you're like, oh, obviously I checked the phone number. For all intents and purposes, you're answering this phone regardless of whether or not you know the person or not. If it is someone you would recognize, you'd probably just be doing this anyway. For me, my response was the following. So actually, first off, when it speaks, did you recognize it? So, when the voice speaks, do you recognize the voice? And for me, my answer is yes. What did it say? It said I am L. And I was like, so what do you say to that? I said, I said, I said quizzicatively, what do you want? Rather and what did he respond with? It gave me the strangest response. My Zeus apparently is L from Death Note, and he responds with, "I am not kidding." I doubt you'd be able to read this. Give me a second. I'm gonna try this real quick. Let me see if flipping this works. Flip horizontal. Can you read that? Yeah, you can. So I'm hoping you'd be able to read that at some point. In this case, we're just gonna do another flip. Yeah. I said, it told me you are the boss. And I was like, whoops, wrong thing. I said, boss of what? It trickles off with this. I have been doing my utmost to try and uphold. Now, I don't know, I don't fully remember the rest of it, but according to this, there is something, a weapon, a representation that spawns at some point during this conversation or is in the background somewhere. And you are to register that and embedded in your mind. Um, as if this, or maybe something happens and you just spawn the weapon in your hands. So I just got probably the final weapon from my book, which is kind of odd. Uh, then you either receive or witness the what witness something, witness an an object an object object. What is it? Mine was the final weapon from my original book series. And then, how does it feel? How did it feel? How did it feel being told what you were told? I said, to this one, I said, I felt off. I felt off. It's nice and all. I prefer a different position. It's not my goal to become powerful. But I do want to be of use in society. And this could be a good way to set yourself some goals, or maybe this could be a good idea to set goals, or maybe give your character a little more personality, or maybe give them a scenario in which they're uncomfortable. And I will add this to the final list. So I forget who the composer is. I know it's no, not the composer. I think this is Beethoven's Sonata. I think it was Fifth Symphony. No, wasn't it the Tempest? Hmm. Okay, I don't know if that heard that. Even if it did, it doesn't matter. The point is, I think it's one of Beethoven's songs called The Tempest. Actually, I want to see here. How long was this song? 7 minutes? Let me do one final thing here real quick. Just a moment. Oh yeah, it was The Tempest. It was The Tempest. If you're looking for emotions, um, I recommend this. If you need emotions, um, take out a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11, or even this will do, and you're gonna listen to um Beethoven's Tempest, start to finish, no pausing, zero pausing, absolutely no pausing, and you're gonna write down what emotions this song is making you feel. So we are gonna put this down. How funny that Beethoven's The Tempest is gonna be the topic for the Poseidon. So listen to Beethoven's The Tempest. What? Okay. The Tempest, start to finish. No breaks. And write down the emotions you feel, as you continue to listen to The Tempest. Because the song goes uh the song goes whack all over the place, but it evokes emotions in people. And I'll tell you this, no two sheets will look alike, as far as I'm aware. And if I wrote down all of mine, I'd be here for a bit, but uh, uh and if I'm not gonna do it for you guys, but I'm gonna wrote down what I previously wrote down though. So I wrote down I had confused, awkward, neutrally strong. This is, and anything. It's not really just emotions. It's stuff that it evokes in you. And my next line is, and then at another point, exactly. And then I was back into a neutral position, and I was relieved, somehow. Off. Out of place. Neutral sleeping. Oh, I want to go to church. Seriously, these are like the emotions that it gave in me. I'm like, yeah, I feel like going to church all of a sudden when that part played. I'm slowly starting to remember this. And I guess there was like a Zelda-y kind of beat, because then I said, I had not played Zelda in years. Years. I'm not kidding. And then I put neutral tired. Neutral annoyed. Like ASRIVATED. Whatever. This was neutral. Um, Neutral sleepy. Neutral sleepy. Neutral still neutral. Neutral still neutral. I was neutral for quite a bit. And then suddenly my emotion said, woke up. Then went back to neutral again. Patient. Tired. Neutral. Exhausted. And lastly, neutral. Neutral. Oh, aggravated. That's right. Aggravated. That's the word I was looking for. I was wondering why I put an S there, and I'm like, no, that was just one G and aggravated. So yeah, these were the emotions I had when I listened to The Tempest. My God's teacher had the most interesting way of getting us to use our imagination. Oddly enough, one of the essays we had to do was we had to pick a character, fictional or realistic, and assign them two gods and write down, like, give a full like 3-page essay on like the aspects that this person evokes in these gods, their personalities and whatnot. um so this is how I would try and expand my characters. So if you need to evoke an emotion in a scene, if you're me, you're mostly neutral. um there could be I've seen people be sad with this. I've seen people come out maybe a little more angry with this. I think the reason why I was so neutral is because there was a lot of spots where there was just a lot of playing and not a lot of emotion behind it before an emotion finally came through. Though in those parts, I think you can start off sad, maybe. I don't know. My first emotion was I was confused. I don't know. But you're gonna write down the emotions you feel throughout this song. So, yeah, that's how we did that. And for me, the one method I use the most is this one, which I'll expand on as method acting, more or less. If you need to be in with your character, or you want to give them stuff to do, or stuff, get in their mindset. You don't really need to be wearing their clothing, because I doubt you'd have that kind of cybernetics if you're doing a sci-fi. But you need to at least imagine yourself in their headspace and be in their poses, kind of pseudo LARP with yourself, if you think about it like that. So, kind of like that. These are the many ways I think to expand on my characters. I think of them how they would react to seeing me, or how they would tell me things, or maybe we're at a table and we're having a meeting and we just chat. Good conversation. Maybe someone else calls you and you're told you're an asshole and you wonder why. Maybe instead you listen to the Tempest and you just realize you feel like shit. I think you need to be in a clear head when you're listening to the Tempest. That way the emotions flow better. Try that, but yeah, that was basically. I think I'm gonna title this "Gods in Every Character." I think that's what we're gonna call this part. Actually, "Gods in Every Character." Um, but yeah, this is how we learned. Um, this is how I been adapting into my stories and how I become my characters. How I believe in these characters. How I believe in my villains. If you're gonna make them believable, you gotta at least inhabit that mindset at least once. You can't be a good villain without knowing how a hero would react. Or you can't be a good villain without needing motive. And if something says give me purpose, if we're gonna extrapolate this to if we extrapolate this to D&D, so if someone shouts give you purpose, I really want you to be motivated. Have your character want to be in on the adventure. I'm not saying you can't, that doesn't mean you need to have a full-fledged backstory. You just need to be given reason to stay with the party and do a thing. Do the adventure. And with that, I think that's all the time I'm going to have today. Till next time. Okay. Ciao.